So I'm with Stanley from the Indigenous Livelihoods Enhancement Partners, an international organisation bringing together Indigenous people, talking about their rights, about enhancement, about their relationship with the environment. Explain a little bit more about the work you do.
Indigenous Livelihood Enhancement Partners is a community-based organization in Kenya, and it has global partners. One of the partners is the Teptaba Foundation, which is a Filipino-based organization dealing, among other issues, with environment and climate change. And so we are here together with the rest of the indigenous people of the world, meeting together as a constituency of indigenous people under the Indigenous People Forum on Climate Change.
In very general terms, what are the problems that Indigenous people around the world face in relation to climate change?
Indigenous people generally rely on natural-based systems. They are directly relying on the environment. I mean, talk of pastoralists, the Maasai pastoralist community from where I come from. 2009, when the rains fell, when we have drought and no rains, we lost about 80% of the herd. So these are people who are deeply connected to the environment. They have deep knowledge of the environment, and any changes therefore within the environment affect them drastically and immediately.
And I think there's a general perception that Indigenous people around the world are protectors, perhaps understand, perhaps have a closer relationship with the earth, with the environment, than the rest of us who have been out there destroying the environment. What is it we have to learn from the Indigenous peoples of the world?
I think there is a lot we can learn from the indigenous people. Their cosmovision is a holistic interconnectedness of life systems. Some call it the ecosystem approach. People are deeply connected to forests, people are deeply connected to water, and therefore they have developed a very intricate knowledge, indigenous knowledge system, which I think the global community and the UNFCCC process can benefit if indigenous people are engaged in this knowledge. So they have customary institutions, they have knowledge systems developed over time, they have belief and value systems. For example, among the Maasais, to cut a tree across is equivalent to suffocating or removing life from a tree. And this informs, therefore, their knowledge of environment and how to relate with the environment. And that explains probably why the highest biodiversity concentration and forests in the world are within indigenous people territories.
And is that message, is that indigenous message being brought here to COP17, being heard in the negotiations in general to do with climate change?
Well, it hasn't been easy. One of the other, I think, common feature of indigenous people all over the world is that they are often disadvantaged. They are often a marginalized lot from the dominant groups in society. And often their voice at the national level is not heard. And the challenge is, since the state is the organ of negotiations here, and the nations all over the world are the reason why indigenous people find themselves in the disadvantaged position they find themselves in, it becomes difficult to bring their voice to this stage. But that said, we are seeing a slight adjustment. We are seeing some small space. The Cancun Agreement, for example, captures some of the basic principles that we've been pushing for as indigenous people. And of course, we are trying to lobby the states to hear us, to accept a text that is friendly and addresses some of our concerns. And that's why we are here.